Most of us have had pretty average lives. A lot of us have had extremely sucky lives. Some of us have had a life of no issues at all. Regardless, everyone has met challenges, and everyone has had to find their true self and some true grit in those challenges. So I'm telling you right now that the first goal is knowing who you are.
That was a quote by Killer Mike, who is one half of Run the Jewels. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Don't Get Lost in the Hype, Episode 2. Today I get to sit down with O.B.E, who is a group from Milwaukee, which consists of Water.lo and Cam's Guy, two genuine dudes who got some shit to say. We discuss about what Killer Mike was kind of saying about knowing who you are and staying true to yourself and being honest and not putting that bullshit hype out there and what's good hype and what's bad hype. We talk about spirituality, we talk about psychedelics. Everybody, thank you for listening to Don't Get Lost in the Hype. So we're sitting here with Water.lo and Cam Sky, the group known as O.B.E. So explain what O.B.E is.
O.B.E is out of body experience. It's been this way since freshman year. Was that like 2014? Always felt like we was making music that could make somebody actually have out of body experience. Even though our shit was kind of trash back in the day, it wasn't trash, but we still had the vision. Yeah. So we always felt like, you know what I'm saying, our shit was legit, legit to the point where we could make it from there. We always said we'd be on XXL. We ain't really rocking it with that shit no more. But our music just make people like, damn, like, what is this? Like, I feel like I'm floating right now, you know what I'm saying? Like real euphoric. And want to add on to that?
Yeah, just to make everybody feel something different, like than what they normally hear, just to get them out of their mind and their body, literally out of body experience with their music. So yeah.
Have you guys had any out of body experiences?
Once.
Yeah.
How was that? I want to hear that. Talk a little closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, now you good.
I don't know. One time I had it was when I was sleeping, but what's that called? It's like...
Is that like sleep paralysis or like...
That's what I had. That's what I had, where I was seeing myself sleep, and it wasn't the funnest experience. I was freaking out, and then I woke up and I forgot about it like a bad dream.
So did you see... Okay, so... You had a sleep paralysis. Was it like you couldn't move? You couldn't like do any of that shit?
Couldn't move at all. It was just bad. It was stupid. I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I felt the weight and I was looking at myself. I was like,
Staying aware, but you're not fully
like,
there.
Why am I? This don't feel right. And then like probably like maybe what felt like 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes later, I just kind of just woke up actually. And it was like, all righty, I'm just not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But
have you had any?
Yeah.
All right. It's an out of body experience to me because, all right, so I was trying to link up with this girl that I like. It was back in 2012, you know what I'm saying? I had a little phone, the little flip phone with the minutes on it. And I ran out of minutes on that. And she's like, let's meet at State Fair. I never had been to State Fair. I didn't know where I was going. I just looked at the bus routes and I got there. Couldn't find her. I started panicking. I'm like, damn, I don't know where I'm at. It's plenty of unfamiliar faces, strangers everywhere. So I'm like, I don't finna get back home. Like, I don't know my way back home. I ain't never been out. I just snuck out the house, like, you know what I'm saying? If my mom hear this, she know already. But yeah, so I'm out there and I'm just like, what I'm about to do? So it's like something took over me, and I got home somehow. Like I got home I left the house at like 12:30 in the afternoon. 12:30 in the afternoon, and I got back home at like 10 because I didn't know what to do. I was searching around for her for like 3 hours. I didn't know what to do after that. So
something just guided you.
Something guided me. Something took me and just like, hey, I'm gonna get you back home. Like, don't even worry. Like, it's like I don't even remember. It was like I was flowing through the whole thing. Like,
that's insane.
Like, so I'm just like, yeah, that's like my top one.
See, this is what I like to talk about. I'm a very spiritual person, I guess you could say. And I've had a lot of experiences with like spirituality and random things. So this is the type of shit that I like to talk about. When I saw your guys' name was O.B.E, because I saw you guys at the New State event last year, the Pocket Park, and that's where I kind of started discovering all these Milwaukee artists, which I want to get more into later. But when I saw O.B.E, I was wondering, I was like, did they have any out of body experiences, or was this just like a thing to say? Because you were talking about how you keep seeing 222 everywhere. And I don't know if there's any other triple digits or anything like that, or like.
I see plenty. I see 222 a lot. I see 333 a lot.
Yeah.
Here and there I see like 555. But I get freaked out each and every time I see it though. It's like,
oh yeah,
I don't understand what the hell is going on and why, like, my brain like, hey, just look at the time right there and just see what time it is. But it must mean something. Each and every time I Google it, I get different answers.
You can't trust the internet half the time. So it's like
at this point, I'm gonna just see what happens, and whatever happens, it must be or it must not be. So
yeah. Well, okay. So from my experience, because I was around the same. I was maybe it was a couple years back. I kind of started going through this transformation process. I'm not going to keep this too long. I went through this transformation process of like just becoming aware of myself and becoming aware of my surroundings more and more. And I started getting the same thing. It was random coincidences where it was like 222, 333, stuff like that. And then at first I brushed it off as like, well, once your brain recognizes it, it's just going to, I didn't really think much of it. But then it got to the point where I'd be sitting there thinking about like, okay, earlier today I was thinking about Buddhism for some reason. It was just in my head, just thinking whatever.
I got books on Buddhism.
That's probably why. And I'm watching, I don't remember what it was, Community or something. And one of the characters was like, brought up Buddhism right as I was thinking about it, like right on the spot. And the timing of that just kind of throws me off. It's always like freaky. But from what I understand, it's almost like God winking at you, kind of, if that makes sense. I don't know if either of you believe in God?
Yeah.
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 Could you expand a little bit on that?
I don't have a religion
as
of right now, but I do believe it's a creator out there.
Me, you know what I'm saying? Rest her soul, my grandma, she dragged me to church every Sunday. So I grew up in a church house. Like, we used to live with my grandma, and then my mom's moved out, and we still was a church. So I personally, like, I believe in God because of the stuff that I seen and the stuff I experienced, like stuff that I lived through. Like, short story. My mom sent me to Walgreens to get her some strawberries. Like, what was this, last year in June? And I'm just driving, and I'm at a 4-way stop, East Capitol Walmart. And then I just hear sirens in the background, so I'm like, all right, they sound far. But as I'm turning, I just turn real quick, and it's like something just instinctively told me, like, push on the gas hard, like, go hard. So I did. Little do you know, somebody speeding down the block. They crashed into my car because it's a high-speed chase going down Holton. Oh. So they smacked the back of my car. If I wouldn't have pressed the gas like as hard as I did, it would have smacked straight into my driver's side. So I'm always believing in God because it's like too. It's like I'm it's like because I didn't do that like out of body experience again. Like, I didn't do that myself. Yeah. So it's just like a whole lot of stuff that's like it really is something protecting me. And it's like a purpose. It's a reason why I'm still here. Cause I could have been gone plenty times. Like, one more short story. Walmart parking lot. I'm doing I'm doing my job. I'm pushing carts, and randomly a little yellow car pull up on me. Hold on. I'm not no 6'9". I'm not no snitch. But I'm just.
I need names. They
ain't had no plates. No. But yeah, they pulled up on me. They just like flashed the gun at me, put the beam on my head, and was like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Yeah. I was like, I don't know y'all. And,
that better be Jesus. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my mom's caller right now. I'm joking. For real. But yeah, man, it's just like stuff like that. I'm always believing like it's a reason why I'm still here. Cause, man.
Hey, no, I fully believe that. So this podcast is called Don't Get Lost in the Hype. I want to ask you guys, what is hype, and is it good or is it bad?
You want to go ahead?
I believe hype is good and bad. I believe it's both, but mainly what we see is bad hype. Like, it's too much dumb stuff that gets hype. Like, whole 6ix9ine, everything else, just the bullshit in media, that's what gets hyped the most. But like the good hype doesn't get televised. So
hype to you is, would you say drama? Would you say like you're talking about 6ix9ine, that's a lot of social media hype. It's a lot of like just putting yourself out there just to get clicks and views and all that shit.
Yeah.
So what's good hype?
Good hype?
And it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to music or artistry. It can be anything.
What is the good hype I've seen recently?
Like, let me ask you this. Is it always bad to get lost in the hype every once in a while?
No, I don't think so. It's sometimes it's good for you. It gives you a little break and you can like catch new things. Certain type of hypes help you like discover yourself, like to really see who you are and what you into as a person. So like it'll literally show you where you stand on certain fences and stuff like that. Like hype, I've seen a lot of people get exposed through hype, like good and bad situations. Yeah. Like what you gravitate to the most is like really what shows what you really like on the inside. So somebody could be like, oh, for instance, let's talk about the police brutality thing. Yeah. On that, like, oh, I wanted to get better. They should stop and all that. Like, they're using that like for clout and like bad hype. Like, they don't really care because if you like DM them and be like, oh, so what you do? Did you like hit that line up? Did you hit that number up to get your vote in to like get dude prosecuted and all that stuff? No. Yeah. I just it's a sad thing. Like, then like, what's the point, bro? You just doing this like just for a look, like you're just faking it. So it will really show you like all the hype, like just anything good, bad. It'll just show who are real people and who are fake people. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. Yep.
Where I believe that too. It's like it's always good and bad hype. Like to me, bad hype would be somebody who being an influence to like the younger generation, and they hyping them up to be on this pedestal. Like say. Like Lil Bow Wow, for example, I feel like he had bad hype. I feel like he had bad hype coming up because he had expectations so high as a kid that when he grew up, niggas was like, oh yeah, he lame now.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Like it's like they put that pressure on like childhood celebrities. Like if you notice, like they always like either fall off, get on drugs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like bad hype. Like you geeking their head up at such a young age, they don't know how to process that yet. Yeah. And it's like bad for them. Like that hype is so bad for them. But at the time they living though, they like providing for their family. Exactly. But then like their family could be like evil, to taking money from them, like Gary Coleman. Like it's all type of bad hype. I'm saying, but look, it's just what I think is bad hype. But then good hype, of course, is like somebody like, let's see, he ruined that. I was finna say Michael Jackson, but Chance the Rapper, good hype.
Even though he's corny as hell, he got the most positive hype around him. You can't say nothing he does bad.
Look,
the Big Day was pretty bad.
That album was bad.
That album was awful.
Can't say nothing.
Okay, he uplifting and he want to preach to me through my speakers, but I ain't signed up for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he's some good hype. Okay, he got some good energy. Like, hype to me is energy, bro. Like,
well, like, okay, I would describe certain types of music as hype music, like high energy, like you were saying, like bouncing. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone loves Travis Scott. Everyone loves like just it's fun, but I feel like there's a balance between, not just with music, but with anything. It's like, at what point do you stop partying and get real? Right, and then at what point do you stop being real and start partying?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Especially our age.
Exactly. Party.
All the time, yeah.
Where's the next one? Like, yo, Black Dog, we just went out last night.
For real, like, that's why they not used to the staying in the house right now. Everybody like, I'm itching to get back outside. And then all of a sudden they go to the lake, they start fighting instantly. All that built up pressure, they ain't know. they ain't know, you know. They fighting Corona too. But yeah, they ain't know it's like that.
I think we can all agree there's a lot of hype out there right now. Yeah. And I think I'm wondering, because people can't seem to trust certain things and certain people, certain articles, certain things they read online. Do we ignore everything that we see just because we know it's hype, or do we stay aware and get caught in it?
I think we should get caught in it for a little bit and actually acknowledge it. Because if we overlook everything every time, we missing out on something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's in us to figure out what's real, what's not. So, you know what I'm saying? As long as we acknowledge it, we should be straight.
Yeah, it's just like regular life shit. You know, you take like how my parents taught me, like, if you don't listen to anything, just try to listen to the message of everything. So just try to get the good from everything. So like everything is hype and bullshit. You know, you see an article, the headline is some stupid, but it might be some facts actually in that headline. I mean, not in that headline, but in the article. So it's just good to kind of get lost in it, but don't get too like, oh, this is what the article said, I'm gonna die by this article. Like, no, they don't have all the answers. So just take bits and like literally people die literally on Twitter every day. Everybody's dying by an article. Just one headline. They not even an article, just a headline. Just the headline. Like, oh, Trump said we good to go outside. Like, fam, what? Yeah, no, he said it's good. Like, no, that's not the wave.
I've seen people they'll take one thing and they want it to be true so bad.
So it's so stupid.
I still see people that say like, oh, Kendrick and J. Cole are dropping their collab album tomorrow, and it's like, no, they're fucking not.
Exactly. Like how many years has it been? Like 5. Like they're not. If they haven't done it now, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, we will be lucky enough to get a song. And not a lot of people acknowledge last year they actually have a song together. They had that little intro on Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Mm-hmm. Just nobody wants to claim it, but I'm like, hey,
that's as best as we're gonna get.
I'm like, you hear his voice next to his voice. It's like, that's what you're gonna get.
Exactly. Like, so we talked a little bit about spirituality in the beginning, and I believe there's a lot of hype among spirituality because as somebody. I also grew up in the church, but I grew up in, it was kind of weird. I grew up in a very conservative white Christian church, but I was like one of the only poor people. Word. So I bought into a lot of that hype and up until I got older and I realized like, oh, these people don't really give a shit. Like it's not really, I'm not saying there were people that cared, but with spirituality, there's a lot of people these days talking about new agey shit, including myself, talking about Buddhism, talking about psychedelics, talking about whatever it may be. And I feel like people like to glorify certain things. What's the hypes you've encountered in your own spiritual journey?
Oh man, the hype. All right, look, I know the old lady's supposed to sit at the front of the church, but. They be up there doing a lot. If you're going to be in the front, you need you to lead by example. Like, we love the elderly ladies, but y'all be up there, y'all looking back at us. Get up! Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all some sergeants for the Lord. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, but you know, it's like, I respect it. But for real, though, the fact that they feel entitled that I should give money to the church just because I go there, I could just go there to get the message, get the word. But when communion come around, like, or whatever, like like whatever it is, I don't necessarily got it. Like, cause I remember a couple times as a kid, like my mom just like slip me $1 cause I ain't had no job. She just give me $1. Like, go ahead, put it in the thing. And I'll be like, I got to, like, I want to keep this $1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really hyped that one up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we drive a Buick little crap bucket or something. My pastor, he driving a Chrysler 300. Yeah. So I'm like, where does money really go to? Like, we ain't moved out the church. We've been here 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, the water bubble is still broke. Like,
yeah, no, I feel that. Like, there's always a lot of money. I want to be very careful because I don't want to necessarily talk shit on the church because, like you said, it's a very. I think it's very, yeah, I think people find a home in the church and find a home in their religions, and I think people should be able to keep that. But there's a lot of deception, there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of money, stuff like that. Jesus said to actually give to the poor and care for people and don't judge people and stuff like that. And the church is like, yeah, but he also, I don't know, whatever. A lot of hype.
The poor, that money ain't coming back, no way.
Yeah, no, not at all.
The church is very judgmental.
Yeah,
big facts.
Well, and here's the thing is, in their eyes, they're like, oh, well, we're just trying to save people. We're just trying to save. But it's like, but you get caught in the hype of the business. I remember going to a lot of church conventions with my mom, and very business oriented. There was a lot of people talking about, oh, I have this company and we can merge it with this company. I'm like, this is supposed to be church.
Where's God? Where's God? No, he left the chat right now. He's out of the chat right now.
God's like, I don't got time for that shit.
Man, I don't know. Religion is very like weird as hell for me. Like, yeah, growing up, I went to church a lot, like with my moms and stuff like that, and I was heavy into it. Like middle school, like I have a funny story with church. I told him this before, but the same time I was going hard, going hard to church. It's the same time I discovered Tyler, the Creator. Back when he was on his super atheist hard stuff, and I was in between of trying to be a good kid and a skater. I was like, I don't know if he real, but you know what I'm saying.
It's the dualism, though. That's the thing, though. Is like,
so it was just real weird. And I remember one day. This is like one time where I was like convinced God was real. It was like, I think it was like 3 months after Goblin came out. So I'm outside in front of my mom's house just skating, trying to learn how to do an ollie and all that stuff. I'm just skating up and down a little hill or whatever. And it was the intro to Goblin, and I forgot what he said. I forgot the line that he said, but he was like going in on God. He was going in. He was like, fuck God, woo up the man. And I was kind of feeling him.
Of course.
I was going down the hill and I was about to like get ready to jump, but my skateboard just took a hard right and I flew and I scraped the hell out of my hand, like my palm. Like skin was off and everything. And I literally just stopped the song, looked at my hand, went in the house, cleaned it, and I sat on the couch and I called my mom. I was like, yeah, I messed up my hand. And I just sat there. I was like, you know what? Maybe that was a sign. Like maybe I should chill out or something like that. Maybe I shouldn't go that hard. Maybe he is real. But like now 21, I'm just kind of just like
living.
Yeah, just living and just taking little bits of information. Like before the Buddhism thing, like I just picked up books on that like probably like 4 months ago, and I've just been reading books about it. I'm just trying to get like a good knowledge of every religion and just trying to get my own way and like thinking and stuff and how to maneuver with that. So
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out too is I think a lot of people should figure out. I think people should dive more into spirituality, not saying everyone needs to believe in God, not saying it. And that's the thing is like my perception of God has changed so much. From a little kid, it was go to church, listen to your parents, do this, do that, and stick with it and God will protect you. And then I realized, oh, this isn't working out. Like I'm still getting hurt. I'm still suffering. I'm still going through this. I'm still going through that. And that's where many people, and rightfully so, fall away. And they say, well, you know what? Nothing happened. I'm not protected by this and that. And I feel like there needs to be a balance of, I feel like skeptics should have more faith, and I think believers should be more skeptical. And at least that's my opinion. I don't know how y'all feel, but like, if I didn't really start actually believing in God, like I had it my whole life, but I didn't really start feeling it until I took mushrooms.
Word. I heard that. Word. Yeah, I heard about that.
So y'all have never taken psychedelics?
No.
Never. So how do I describe this?
Scared I'ma die.
Yo, you need to die. Not actually die. Not actually die. But you need to jump into the void. I'm not telling you to do. I don't want to lead you down any wrong path.
Inform me.
I don't want to lead you down any wrong path. I don't want to like hurt you. It's all time. It's all perspective. But you get this awareness about you. There's different psychedelics. They all do different things, but they're all very much connected. From what I can tell, every experience I've had, something weird happens, or whether it be something in me, something outside, whatever it may be. Now, from what I was saying, the coincidences, those doubled tenfold, and you almost feel here. I don't mean to keep talking about me.
It's all good.
I don't mean to keep like rambling about shit. That's who I am. I get lost in my own hype, and that's why I started this podcast, is to really show that people are going to get lost in the hype regardless of who they are, regardless of how together you think you have it. You're going to get caught in your own bullshit. Psychedelics to me were such an eye-opening thing. But it scared me because every experience I had, whether it was a good trip or a bad trip, it made me feel for a little while. I was like, oh shit, did I break my brain? Like, did I really go into dive into this like did I drive myself insane? Were all the stories I heard about it true? Like, it was like super scary. But then every time I would come out of a trip, I would always be like, oh, I learned so much about myself, learned so much about the world. Oh, loving people unconditionally and treating people with respect is like, that's like the one thing that gets really hammered in you. At least that's from my own perspective. Mushrooms are nice because they don't last as long as acid. But what it is, it's a very tribal thing. It makes you feel very connected with the earth, with going on. It can feel very cosmic, but you're very much intuition. It's very inner, very low vibration, I guess you could say. Like, you can have crazy mushroom trips, but it's, yeah. With acid, it's very cosmic. It's very out there. Like, if you're a tree, mushrooms will help you grow your roots. Acid will help you grow your branches. If that makes sense. Got more. So, I apologize for rambling on about that, but
no, it's all good.
It falls in line with Buddhism. It falls in line with Christianity. People don't realize how psychedelic Christianity actually is.
Word?
Jesus is one of the most psychedelic dudes I have ever like studied.
Word.
Like, if you take out what America has done to Christianity, if you take out what the church says, and I'm not saying don't, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you listen, if you follow what Jesus is saying and you take acid or you take mushrooms or whatever, you're like, oh, this is legit. Like, this, everything that Buddha says is legit. Everything, Krishna from Hinduism. Like I said, I don't want to lead anybody down wrong paths. Every religion has their own twists and morals and things of that. That's what the whole point of don't get lost in the hype.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what? Okay, I apologize. One, how do you go through this path, whether it be spiritually, musically, whatever it may be? How do you go through this path and see all the hype that's going on? And how do you stay grounded? How do you stay centered?
Oh, that's a great question. For me personally, it's really just keeping people that's grounded around me. Like a lot of times I do get stuck in my own head and seeing stuff and like hearing different stuff, like musically, spiritually, and all that shit. And I'll just be like, what the fuck? Is too much information. It's like literally too much. I'm damn near losing my mind right now. But then I just run it by like him or like my mom's, my pops, or just like other friends and shit like that, and just get different perspectives. And then I'm like, all right, I'm hearing y'all. All right, let me go back real quick. Let me just try to take this information again and just try to like wave through it and just like pick, all right, this is what this is really is and stuff like that. It's hard, but it's not hard at the same time. You just gotta, I would say, just keep yourself grounded. Also, just try to not like let everything overwhelm you too much. You got to know, like how we talked earlier with the hype music and then like the calm down music. You got to know both sides. Like on my Instagram, one day you would see me posting fucking Pop Smoke on my story, or Travis Scott, or just anybody, NBA YoungBoy. Then next minute you would see me Miles Davis and some older shit, and you just be like, what the fuck? Like, that's me calming myself down. So like I just switch my tunes and just like, all right, let me just actually focus in on what the fuck is going on and just pick my brain and then pick out situations right now and get my emotions together.
As for me, like, you out of all people know, but me, I go like, as far as music, staying grounded, I go back and listen to like my old music. Like, I hear what I was talking about back then, like, and I compare it to now to see if I grew or if I'm still stagnant in that same place. And it's like, once I listen to my old music, I found like all the answers I was looking for that day. Like, say I was like, why am I behaving this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll go listen to some old shit and I'll be like, wow, I kind of predicted this outcome, like, looking back when I was younger. And then as far as life, like, of course, like my mom, hold me down through everything. So I call on her. Like, she really keep me grounded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bring me back down to earth. Like, whenever I'm on my high horse, she be like, yeah, nah, you not that cool. You know what I'm saying? So like, it'll be a whole different story. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then like, just keeping my friends around me, like good vibes. Like, cause I'll be like, not even just now, like I used to be stuck in the house, can't go nowhere. I'll get out the house, go hoop or something. I'll feel way better. Like I'll be going through like weeks of like being sad or down or something, and I go outside and I hoop or something, and I just go out to eat, get something to drink. I'll be right. You know what I'm saying? Right, refreshed. Like you know what I'm saying?
Was you finished? Another thing that keeps me grounded though, I had this little saying. I've been saying this all my life or whatnot, but I started mentioning it to him more than like my other friends and my parents more. Another way I stay grounded is am I making my younger self happy? So like the little me in middle school, elementary school, and early high school years, like, oh, I want to be this. I just kind of go back to that mind, like, all right, what am I doing right now? Am I accomplishing the goals that the younger me is like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do all that. That kind of humbles me and keep me grounded. Like, nah, stick on your path. You know where you want to go. Right. You got to make yourself proud. You got to make the little you proud.
So you say intuition, trusting your gut, trusting your like you were talking about going back to your younger self. I want to ask you this: were there any goals of your younger self that you had to kind of let go of?
Yeah, a couple of them. You know, the corny stuff like the doctors, the police, and all that stuff. And then just a couple of like regular life situations too. Like, oh, I'm gonna be like a 4.0 student in high school. Then I got in high school and seen all the bullshit with high school, and I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work out like that. And it's kind of crazy. Like, even though life is kind of somewhat hitting me hard now, it was hitting me hard in high school too. Like, I wasn't trying to hear none of the bullshit that was being taught in class besides like my English and math. I'm like, all right, this is stuff it seems like that's gonna recur more than like history, blase. I really don't give a fuck what y'all talking about in history right now.
Well, they only taught like the real basic like white history.
Yeah, like a meme I said, it was I forgot what the book called, but they like renamed the book. It was like a white nigga highlight reel, and I was like, yeah, basically that's what history is. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to hear all that. And then
it's a lot of war.
Yeah, it's a lot of dumbass war. A lot of war that just got solved dumb. And some bitch like, maybe, you know what, you took too many of ours. Yeah. All right, we should chill out for a hot minute. And it just keeps repeating itself. And it's just, it's just whatever. It's
funny you say that about history repeating itself and bringing up war. We kind of seem to go through, as humanity, we go through this phases and waves of like tension and then release, and tension and then release, and and it almost feels like a heartbeat, or it almost feels like a breath. When you breathe out, you can't just breathe out and then that's it. You have to breathe back in. So is tension good or is it bad?
Like everything. It's good and it's bad. Tension is, I say in a personal development, tension is very well needed to show you where your strengths and weaknesses are as a person. That's how I honestly feel. It's like certain tensions, certain moments will show you who you truly are. Like I said earlier before, a lot of things will show you what you truly are as a person. And some people don't want to recognize it. Like a lot of people live in a facade of themselves that I feel like, oh, I'm a strong man. Nobody's going to beat me up. And then you go outside and it's like 50 dudes who want to jump you right now. You just felt up like, hey, how you doing? Like, bro, you was just in the crib just talking all this mess. And like, it's good and it's bad. Like, I'm not saying that like, oh, we need tension every time. No. Certain tension is dumbass tension. Like
unnecessary.
Oh my God. It's like too many instances I had dumbass. It was one time, I'm sorry for this random ass story.
No. Tell me all the stories.
But it was this one time, where the fuck I was at? I was at a grocery store. I think I was in Woodman's. It was so minuscule that like I ain't never told them the story and shit like that because it was like no point. But it was just like, it was this dude that I think I knew from like elementary school or some in my past or whatever. And we was like in a like juice aisle. I'm picking up juices and I look at him. I was like, oh, I think I know it. But I had like a grin on my face. He had a straight face and he looked at me and he like scrunched his face and he just like kept on staring at me angrily. And we walked past each other. I'm like, what's up? He was like, what's up? I was like, folks, what was that for? Like, it ain't no point in all that tension. Like, did I do something? I'm sorry. That was the younger me. I was dumb, but it's just a lot of dumb tension. You got something on it?
The two best types of tension, like you said, the strong man inside the house. Oh yeah, I step outside, I'ma slap the fuck out of anybody.
Man,
And then you go outside,
it's somebody
slapping the fuck out of you. And then the other one is, say you at the crib with a girl and she not your girl, and your girl like at work or something, and that tension build up, somebody gonna fold. Somebody gonna fold. And that's the bad tension right there. That's the bad one. Now the good one is, say you sleep half of your day away. You wake up mad as hell. Damn, I slept most of my day away. I ain't getting no work done. And then you push yourself like in 3 hours to finish all your goals. That's like some good tension right there. Like, damn, like I'm mad at myself. Like, what I'm finna do with all this built up anger, you know what I'm saying? Get all your shit done. And now you feel more productive. Like, you know what I'm saying? You would have had the whole 12, 24 hours or however you think of your day.
Right.
You just did all that shit in 3 hours.
Oh, there's definitely times, I apologize. There's definitely times where I have been like, oh, I got all day to do this, and then I end up not doing it.
That's that procrastination.
And then it's like, because I have all day. Like, but then it reaches a point, like you're saying, or even going back to was it Little Fish in a Big Pond or whatever? Like, once you go outside and think you can conquer the world, and then the world conquers you, and then you realize, oh shit, I'm a part of the whole thing. Like, like I'm not the top dog. I'm whatever, but
bottom of the food chain.
It's very much you have to humble yourself, and that's something that we've all had to learn the hard way. I think whether it
always
be
try to remain humble.
Whether it be fighting, whether it be music, whether it be whatever. I know I was talking to Fred, and we were talking about releasing projects, and he was saying like, oh, I thought the very first time I was going to release a project that everyone was just going to jump on it and love it. And I was like, I know that feeling. Like, people, it's just, you can't get it out of your head. Like, maybe if I do this, well, but then once you do it and it doesn't receive that much praise as you thought it was, there comes a time where you say, okay, do I continue on this and keep trying, or do I say fuck this and just like move on to something else? So in your musical career, what I guess what I'm trying to ask is like, what hypes have you put on yourself?
Hey, every one of my friends that know me, even people who don't even know me like that, they know if I drop some shit and they see it disappear off my SoundCloud or something, I did not fuck with it. Because of one, the reception they got, because I got inside my own head like, oh yeah, this shit hard, I'm finna drop this, it's finna hit 10K. That shit only did like 300 plays in a month. So I'm like, yeah, and it's mainly my fault because I'm not promoting that bitch enough and I'm not sharing it enough. I just throw it out there in the world like, yeah, I'm that guy, you know what I'm saying? But then like I gotta bring myself back down to earth. I gotta get back. That's when I go listen to my old music, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember there's a point in time where me and him would drop songs and I always remember this number. It was only like 79 plays for like 3 months. The song just stayed there. It was television. And then it started going up a little bit. I'm like, all right, I see some growth. And then I always said, like, after that, I was like, yeah, I want to see, like, I would go down SoundCloud, I would see a K next to somebody's numbers. It'd be like 10K, 20K. And I was like, I always wanted that. And I was like, but I never bought no plays. So when I got my first 10K and I seen that K next to my name, it was like from there, I always set that standard that my stuff gotta hit 10K. It gotta hit 50K. It gotta do numbers, because once I reached it, I was like, yeah, I can't go back down from this. So that's the pressure I put on myself every time. So when I drop a project and you see that bitch disappear, just know I ain't hit no 10K on that.
So, and you can touch on this too. How do you separate goals and expectations? Because I feel as when people set expectations, that's when they get disappointed. But how do you set a goal? Like he was saying, my shit's got to hit 10K, otherwise. How do you differentiate that?
See, with me, I'm so weird. I really don't put too much expectations on my music and stuff like that. Really, I go hard on my vision of the song and like what I want to do around the song or like a project more so than what it got to hit 10K and stuff like that. It's really my expectations and stuff like that really just come from like my friends and like my family. That's like where my expectation comes mostly. Like I be hella surprised when other people, like when you show love and stuff like that, I just be hella surprised. Like I genuinely just be surprised. I'm like, you really like this shit? Like this shit to me is kind of ass. But
here's the thing, I gotta cut you off real quick. I was talking to when I joined the new state and I started getting involved, it was because I had no clue how to get involved like with anything. And I finally figured it out and I started working. We did those events at the Pocket Park. I was blown away by you guys. I was blown away by Niall and the rest of the Fat Nerds crew. I was blown away by Amarell.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was the day of the show or something, I ended up messaging Niall and I was like, hey man, I don't know how or where or when. I was like, but we're going to work together. And he was like, all right, bet. Just like, whatever. A few months ago, Dima came to me and was like, hey, we're starting a youth engagement thing for the new state called the State Session. Or, well, we came up with the name later, but he was like, it's going to be you, Niall, and Amarell. And I was like, I fucking called it.
He said, I called it way back then.
But my point is, there was everybody. Milwaukee is such a hot spot for music.
Facts.
And I feel like we're bubbling and waiting to just
I don't know what it's going to be. This year, actually, I thought it was going to be the year that we boil over because I'm like, it's too hot. It's like, I already feel everybody energy. I feel like everybody musically is ready. Like, just let's go for it. I felt like Summerfest was going to be crazy. Like, I didn't really care for any of the big name stars. Like, fuck out here, Justin Bieber. Like, like I'm trying to see our names. I'm trying to see the Fat Nerds. I'm trying to see everybody in the city like name at Summerfest. Like, fuck all these big name stars. This is them. They're gonna become our shit type shit. So that's what I was expecting this summer. But I still feel this energy, even though we quarantine and shit like that. It's just now it's kind of like I don't know what's gonna put us over. I don't know if you got anything to say on that.
All I know is when my next song hit 10K, it's over for the city, bro. Because, like, listen, I got a whole plan. Like, and this, like, I see everybody, like, I don't see really nobody as competition, and that's not in a real way. I see everybody as, like, somebody to network with and to grow with. Like, Niall, like, shout out to Niall, bro. Like, he'll hop in the PS4 party, start talking about some damn music. I'd be like, bro, I'm trying to play 2K.
Yeah.
But then I start getting refocused on some music. I start making a beat or something. Like, it's people who make you better, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's not really competition. So I see it as like, if I get on, most definitely he gonna be on. Most definitely, if not on, by the time put him on, Fat Nerds, all of them, anybody who took the time, like Neely, I was just kicking with him for the first time. Like, yeah, I just met up with them, cool energy, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, for real.
Eli.
So I always see myself as a person to put my team on my back. And even if you're not a part of my team, if you was in the crowd cheering for me, I'm putting you on. Simple as that. Because I know for a fact that I got the star power. Like,
there's nothing worse than a jaded artist. Than people who are like, I made all this shit myself. I did it my whole self. It's like, did you really though? Did you actually do it yourself?
You need people to listen to you. Like, you need it. You need it. And it's like crazy because like back when I first hit my 100K plays on Wasted, I was like, this is it. But then I had to humble myself again because I dropped my next song and that bitch only got 50K. And so I'm just like, it's not all about numbers, but once I see the results, I'm starting to think like something's about to happen. Like, I got, like, if I was able to get that far, I could take it further. And like I said, I know I got the star power to do it because like without him, like just one half of my, like, O.B.E, I can do mixing, I can write the song, record the song, produce the beat, mix the beat, do all of this, promote it, do it all myself. So it's just like, I try to be my biggest fan at the end of the day. And then that's how I get lost in my own hype because I be hyping myself up. And then it's the whole cycle of, damn, I just did all of this. Oh yeah, I'm finna put it back out there and it's finna come back to me harder. But then it don't. And then I just reset, you know what I'm saying, until I figure it out. So
you talk about a cycle of going through that phase of humbling yourself, but you can't shit on yourself. You gotta be like, no, I'm here for a reason. I'm a fucking king. Like, you know, like, even though kings can get dethroned and people can get taken down a peg, but it's just like, that's where if you stay humble, stay focused, stay grounded, and recognize that not only you're going to get lost in the hype, but everybody else around you is going to get lost in the hype. That's when you can really accomplish it a lot, because you can use that hype to keep yourself grounded. There's just a lot of artists out there, whether it be in Wisconsin, whether it be in, you know, all over. Everybody wants to be an artist. Everybody wants to be a rapper, a singer, whatever it may be. And I think that's dope, because there's, you know, people are expressing themselves. People are realizing how important art really is. How do you not get caught up in the hype of everybody else being an artist? So, like, you want to make yourself, you want to be recognized amongst all of the sea of bullshit, is what I'm trying to say.
all I'm gonna say is what I do is I look back on when I first started in this shit. Who really was rapping? Like, you know, it's like in high school, like, bro, now you know you wanted to hoop. You know you wanted to play basketball. You know you wanted to play football. I was in class making beats. My teacher was telling me, close my computer, kept that hole open. I was making songs in class. I was making songs outside by Little Caesars while you was catching footballs. Yo, where you coming from?
Because that's facts. Like, we was in school, literally laptops every day, making some heat while the teacher is teaching. We in the back over here. Yo, this 808 kind of kick. I'm texting him like on the side, like, yo, I think I got one in class right now. And he like, word, at lunch we link and we get it up. But just like to see, like, get through all this bullshit, you just know, you know what the real is and you know what the fake is. You could tell somebody that just came out and just trying to get some quick fame off of this, they don't really have the passion, the hunger from it. You could tell the bullshit. Like he said, we know a lot of people from school who was basketball players, football players, other shit, talking down on our name, and then now they're out here just making, nah, fuck it. We just gonna call it what it is. Some shit. Some bullshit. Just making straight trash. So, oh shit.
And that's like no diss to it, because like you want to be creative, right? It's cool, but if you was bold enough, you know what I'm saying, to talk down on us when we was in our coming up, like, cause we, you know what I'm saying, we was coming up, and then like where we at now, like we so solid right now that we could drop a song right now and it could be the one. So, and this is like to hear people coming, oh yeah, now I'm finna make music too because they doing it. Why can't I? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody, bro. Like our scene's so crowded, and it's like people want to get their creativity out. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, it's so crowded, bro. And it's just like,
not everybody can be the next person.
Exactly. You don't see me trying to go to NCAA or whatever, because I know I'm not finna be the best hooper. I'm not finna be meshing with y'all. So I stay in my lane. So I'm saying everybody probably should stay in their lane.
That's big facts. Everybody should stay in. It's a weird energy too with those type of people, because they automatically come out feeling like they're the best. And a lot of time, like the hype, they are the ones who getting hype right now. Like, you would go on Facebook, yo, he did something with this one, and you listen to it, and you like, hey yo, what you just say? And they over here, yo, my mind is clear, but I be drinking on root beer. Like, fuck is you talking about right now, yo?
It's like corny shit.
Like mad corny shit.
Yeah.
And the comments over here like, oh my God, you going crazy, or you spitting, like, bro, you inspired me. Like, dog, are y'all listening? You are in a different bag than I am. Like, truly and honestly, like, fuck out of here with all that bullshit. I mean, like he said, like, it ain't nothing wrong with it, expressing yourself. It's many other ways. I think everybody just see that you can get on with music. That's why they're doing, but it's hella other ways.
Well, there's people that think, oh, all I have to do is find a beat, rhyme over it, and then that's it. And it's like, you don't understand the process of mixing, mastering, figuring out the intricacies, what your sound is, what your voice is, things like that. Like,
Oh my God, it's science. It's real life science, man. Man, it's pockets. There's melodies. There's literally, like you said, pitches and everything you have to listen to. Nah, you just say, I heard this beat. I'm finna say a bunch of bullshit and it's gonna go. And a lot of people eat it up right away. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, sometimes I do. That's a hype that I do get. And like when I see some bullshit that gets hyped, I'll be like, yo, especially musically in the city, I'll be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm not hating. It's just like, yo, like,
you just gotta be honest though.
Yeah, it's like, it's better shit out here. Like, I can literally point you in a better direction than that. And no knock to that person. If they're truly serious about it, then like, I'm gonna praise them and like, yo, you can just give a little tidbits in there if they don't mind and shit like that. But 9 times out of 10, the people that just come out right away be hella cocky, hella arrogant all the time. You hating, suck my dick. Like, folks, what? Like,
you still work at Pick and Save or some
bro,
shit.
You're working at Walmart right now. Relax, kid. Yeah. Like, relax. Sit your ass down. Like, literally, I can go to your job right now and see you. Like, if you really telling me to
vest on and all that shit.
Like, I would take your pin off your vest right now. Like, you telling me you suck a dick. Like, yo, relax, fam. I'm just saying you could have found a better flow. Could have used better words. Like, that beat probably wasn't the beat like that. And a lot of people don't know how to take constructive criticism like that. And that's like, damn near a whole generation doesn't know that, because it's either you hating or you lame. It's really just hate. It's never no like, oh no, thanks. Like, I really should listen to that. You know, good looking out. No, it's just automatic. You're a hater.
Well, Fred and I had this conversation. Because I ask everybody if they have a topic they typically want to focus on. They can. His topic was investing too much into your artistry early on. People who spend a lot of money on, trying to get clicks, views, they buy all these beats, they buy this and that, and they think like, if as long as I put this into it, it's gonna come back. And it's just like, but you were saying you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest, like, oh, my voice is trash,
man.
Oh,
that's a number one thing. You have to find your voice. Everybody doesn't have a voice. I had to find my voice. Like, everybody doesn't have a voice. You don't automatically come out like Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, fucking Jay-Z. You don't automatically come out with them types of voices. You have to find those voices. You over here thinking you sound like
Kendrick Lamar.
Man, Kendrick Lamar on your ass over here. Like, what the fuck? Get your nat ass out of my ear right now. Like,
well, and Kendrick, like I had brought this up on Fred's episode. Kendrick's mixtapes before like Section 80 and Overly Dedicated, he was still finding his voice.
Facts.
And it took him a little bit to like, he was J-Rock's hype man.
Facts, yeah.
Like, people didn't think he was going to be the one up until like he finally figured that shit out. So people need to realize that, like you were saying, finding your voice is one of the most important things. Find like the sound, the inflection. Do you have a catchphrase? Are you like
anything? Like ad-libs, melodies, pockets. Yeah. Like, do you have anything on you? You just going here assed out thinking you the one. You're gonna find out soon that you're not the one. Like,
I want to kind of summarize what we've been saying. What's hype from what we've talked about? What's hype? What's good hype? What's bad hype? Again.
All right, bad hype is having the OnlyFans and no content. No content on that motherfucker. Having niggas pay for that shit. Do something. No, just but no. Bad hype for real is just being an overall terrible influence. A terrible influence to the younger kids, man. Like, show them something better, bro. Like, cause the people who your age, they gonna tell you ass. The little kids, they gonna, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? They gonna eat that up. Like, do better. You know what I'm saying? And then the good hype is the niggas who is doing what they supposed to be doing, who found their sound, who got a signature sound, who can take the energy of a crowd of 13 people and make it feel like it's 1,000 people in the crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the good hype right there. We need more people like that. And I feel like I'm one of those people, you know. So I feel like me and him as a duo, we didn't took a little open mic of like 20 people, and you would think if you was outside, you would think it was like 100 people in there. Like, the way it sounded like people fighting in the background and shit. It's just crazy. So that's the difference between good hype, bad hype. Just being a real artist.
Staying grounded, staying humble, but still being okay with getting caught in some bullshit here and there. Like,
of course. I feel the opposite of you though. People our age cheer the bullshit on more than kids. Kids will tell you straight up nowadays that your shit is ass. Your shit is straight garbage.
kids are a lot more honest these days.
Man, and I appreciate it. I'll be like, you know what? You might see something that I'm honestly not seeing right now. But fucking bad hype. Oh, go ahead.
No. I apologize. I want to tie that in. What you just said was so real. I want to tie that into spirituality. I think in the Bible it says something about you have to become like little children to like understand, like to get into the kingdom of heaven, to have faith. A story. I had my long hair and I was just walking, and a kid passed by with his mom and goes, "Mom, who is that lady?" And it's just like, I have a beard.
I am a man. Look at me. Acknowledge me. Like, nah, that's a girl right there.
Kids are honest as fuck.
Man.
Kids got no filter.
Man, and I love it. Shit, I be trying to have a no filter like that, but you know, when you get older, you have to have filter for certain shit. But you know, that's a different story for a different type of day. But bad hype, like he said, just all the bullshit, like people that's arrogant and cocky and just getting overhyped with that, and just like not being true to themselves and not being true to anything, to be honest. Just following the trends that's going on, trying to be all up in the mix, just everywhere and anywhere. Just when something pop off, you want to be the first person to talk about it. You notice me, senpai. Like, relax, sit your ass down. Like, that's what the bad hype is. The good hype is grounded. You know yourself. I mean, shit, a lot of people our age don't know themselves right now and shit like that, but at least you have an idea of yourself. And just, like, keeping grounded people around you and being honest with yourself. Like, you need to dead ass look in the mirror and tell yourself what it really is and what it isn't. Don't keep living in a facade of, nah, I got this much money, or I'm this dope of an artist. Like, nah, it's somebody out here doper. It's somebody out here richer. It's somebody out here better than you. It's just like staying true to yourself and keep on doing better for yourself. That's what the good hype is.
Well, and I guess I could kind of want to touch on that is no matter how much money you have, no matter what your position is, that shit could get taken away at any moment.
In the quickest way ever.
So it's like, I guess to wrap it up, staying humble, trusting the timing of things is what you were saying.
Big facts.
Because like you were saying, like people want to be the first in line to say something, to be something because they want to get noticed. There's times to speak. There's times to move. There's times to be quiet.
Yeah, a lot of people. What is the quote? What is the quote? Everybody, I make my moves in silence.
Yeah,
but they be really loud as fuck with their moves.
I make my moves in silence.
Yeah, it's
Between your every move.
like literally this next project's out of the water, but y'all ain't gonna hear nothing. Don't like, folks, shut the fuck. I don't want to hear your project no more. Like, bro, you literally sit out 10 tweets talking about I'm about to fuck this summer up. No, the fuck you're not. Like, relax, bro. You're not doing shit.
I got 12 tracks, but 10 singles that they all released before the album.
Bro, and just put it on the mixtape. Like, yo, it's fire, right? Nigga, I heard these. Exactly, too, bro. On this track, a 2-pack of ass. Like, that's what you're dropping out here. That's what you feeding these people. Like, folks, fuck out of here, dude. Like, bother the fuck out of me. Like, you gotta trust your timing. You have to trust yourself. Really, all it is, takeaway is trusting yourself, believing in your process, in you. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. That's why they do all the extra shit. That's why they do the hype. That's literally why they do the hype, because they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah, they try to put themselves identity with things that are going on.
Exactly, to feel important.
Yeah, but you gotta find yourself before you can like fix all that shit.
DJ Academics is bad hype.
He really is.
He's literally horrible. TMZ, bad hype. Shade Room, bad hype.
People
like,
just share drama just to have it. Just
like it's so bad. Like, relax, yo.
Fucking Trump 6ix9ine.
Oh
all
my
that shit.
God, like I be trying to stay away from all that, but man, athletic awards for the clout chasing, and then everybody just There's too many people without identities, but it's a lot of people out here with a lot of identities. I know a lot of people. I interact with a lot of people with their own identities, and I love them for it. They help me find mine. So it's like I said, just try to find yourself. If anything, try to find yourself. It's an ass world if you're trying to follow in the footsteps of others or just trying to do something because it's in right now. Like, folks, you're just at the end of the day nothing. Like,
right.
At the end.
The real will stay and the fake will fade away. That's the biggest thing. So thank you guys for talking with me. Is there any last words that you want to say? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to talk about? Any last like sentiments, stories?
Fix them OnlyFans, but for real, I go by the name Water.lo, one half of O.B.E, Outer Body Experience, American Idol coming this summer. I promise you, it's gonna change your life, his life, her life, my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It's a whole lot of people out there though, and they gonna hear it. And when I drop this motherfucker, people gonna see what I've been working on, and they gonna be like, wow, every song on this motherfucker is a banger. So that's all I gotta say.
I'm Cam Sky, the second half of O.B.E. Please don't address me by Sky. Just address me as Cam. It's so weird that people come up to me, yo, Sky. I look around like, who? And then I'm like, oh, I got the hat on that says it too. Oh, shit, I am. Yo, just address me as Cam. But my last little words is everybody stay safe during quarantine and don't fall into the hype and shit. Really, honestly, love y'all and appreciate y'all for all the support. And
well, we appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Shit. And more music coming soon. That's all I gotta say.
All right. That was O.B.E, Water.lo and Cam Sky. Thank you so much for listening to Don't Get Lost in the Hype. One last thing before I head out. Not to get too political or anything, but these are some weird times. So I just want to remind everybody to spread love, spread compassion, spread understanding. But at the same time, if the oppressor is stepping on your neck, you fight back. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.